Welcome to the Gunport channel. Today is a good day, right? So obviously you know why it's a good day, because what's down below right there? Ruger Mark IV. I got the Ruger Mark IV Hunter. Now this gun is slick. You know, if you've watched my channel for a long time, or if you've watched it at all, you could probably guess I'm a pretty big fan of rimfire firearms, whether it be rifles or pistols. Now, for the past couple years, I've only ran one pistol because of ease of cleaning. It's much easier to clean because it has a breech that opens up. It's very simple to get in there and clean. We're not going to talk about that pistol today, but we are going to talk about my new one. And that's this gun here, the Mark IV. Now what makes the Mark IV so nice is, if you've ever owned a Mark II or a Mark III, you probably have cussed once or twice trying to put the thing back together if you've tore it down, right? We all have. We've all been there. We've all thrown stuff across the room because we can't get the gun back together. It sucks. I mean, they were horrendous for trying to put back together. You had to hold it upside down like this and kind of jiggle it as you fought that mainspring back in there, and it was always a pain in the butt. With a Ruger Mark IV, it's not like that. Takedown's easier than ever. Everything's easier than ever. Shooting it's easier than ever because it's extremely accurate. Let's go ahead and let's talk about the takedown on this thing. All right, so the first thing we want to do is we want to check it, make sure the gun's clear. Okay, so we're gonna make sure the gun's clear. There's nothing in there, no magazine. Magazine's got to be out to do this anyways. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and put the gun on safe, and it's ambidextrous, as you can see there. They've changed the controls on it. We're gonna lower the bolt back down, and with the safety on, we're going to push this button in the back and just push forward. The gun comes apart. Now, you're able to take your lower, sit it down. You can pull your bolt out and take it apart to clean it, do whatever you got to do to it. We can also go in from the breech back here and actually clean the gun out the way it's meant to be cleaned out, so we don't have to go in through the muzzle of the gun. That's pretty nice to have that too. But these guns are pretty doggone innovative for Ruger. I mean, it's took them a long time to get to this. 67 years. The very first gun they introduced was introduced in 1949. And I think it was like 2 years later, or a year and a half later, they introduced the Mark I, which actually just came with target sights. And they've changed a lot actually over the years. You know, the original grip angle and stuff like that, that's pretty much stayed the same. You know, when we went to the Mark IIs, we were pretty much staying the same exact gun as the Mark Is. When we went to the Mark IIIs, it kind of got shaky there for a minute. A lot of people lost interest in that firearm. And I'm glad Ruger did this because it brought back my interest in these guns. The Mark IIs, you can find them, you know, sometimes, and they would be wore down. Somebody shot a bazillion rounds out of them, you know, and if I could find one, I would probably pick them up just because they're good guns. But still, we had that issue with the takedown. The takedown was hard to do. It wasn't, I mean, the takedown itself wasn't hard. It was actually putting the gun back together afterwards. And countless hours of taking them down and putting them back together, I still sometimes had a problem. Even though I took my gun down and stripped it down a lot and cleaned it, I still had issues sometimes putting it back together. So with the new one, we don't have to worry about that. So let me throw it back together and show you how that works. It's pretty much just as simple as taking the gun apart. We're going to take this, as you can see, you got like this roll pin here. It's kind of like a roll pin. Actually, it's built into the frame. And we're going to take the barrel, as you can see, you got that hook there. And just like a shotgun, we're going to push that down like that. We're going to guide the pin up through the hole and just squeeze it back together. That's simple. It's back together. Function check. Of course, it still has the magazine disconnect. So we're going to put an empty mag in it here. We're going to point the gun in a safe direction. There's nothing in it, but we're still wanting to do a function check. And everything's good. So, that being said, it's a lot easier to work on, clean, maintain than the previous models. Now, some of the other upgrades that they've done, if you remember in the past, the safeties was always just like a little button, almost reminiscent of the magazine release here, okay? And that's something else they've improved too. But you used to have just a small button right here that you would push down, in the same way for the slide release. But as we can see now, we have an actual lever here, which works a whole lot better. as far as being able to release the slide. And the safety on them is ambidextrous. So for you left-handed people, they finally thought of you guys and put ambidextrous safeties on there. But the magazine release is a big improvement over the last generation, or the Mark IIIs. Just to show you, if you remember on the Mark IIIs, if you own one, or if you've actually shot one or have a buddy that has one, you would hit the magazine and then you'd have to pull it out. It didn't want to drop free. There were some issues with that. And then of course, going back to the Mark IIs, we had the magazine release back here on the heel of the gun, and we actually had to roll that out, and then it would pop out enough to where you could pull it out. On the new ones, it's got some power. I mean, look at that. The thing is actually upside down and it's shooting out. If you had the gun sideways, completely sideways, I mean, it shoots out of there. So being that that's a huge upgrade, especially for somebody that might be in like a steel shooting competition or something like that, where you're switching mags fast, you don't have to fumble around with it, you're able to fire, then you're actually able to get it out, start over again. And you know, things are nice, especially with this. You got that 6 7/8 of an inch barrel. So we're 1/8 of an inch short of being a full 7-inch barrel on this thing, giving you a long sight radius and making it very accurate. I was playing around with it earlier and I was able to make shots out to 100 yards on a 12-inch steel plate. But you know, I just got the gun today, so I'm still kind of warming up to it. And a couple other things that I don't like about the new gun, and it's not the gun actually, it's what it comes in. You know, originally, whenever we bought a Ruger Mark II, Mark III, they would come in that nice hard plastic case. The new ones do not. The new ones actually come in a cardboard box. So we're losing a $15 case, but we're gaining the ease of care. So I can put up with that. I do like to save my boxes. So that was kind of a bummer a little bit with, you know, not getting the box, because now I have to take extra special care in order to maintain and save my cardboard box. Inside the box, you're going to find some simple stuff that you normally would find with any gun. And that would be your owner's manual on the Ruger Mark IV. You got, you know, just different little things in here. Some advertising stuff. Save 20% on Ruger sportswear and accessories. Little coupon type thing there. I guess it gives you a code on the back here. And for the first time ever, they go through a little bit of swag there. We get a little Ruger sticker. And I've never got that with any of their other guns. I'm not for sure if they give them out with certain firearms now. I know I just recently purchased a Ruger Super Red Hawk in 44 Magnum, and it didn't come with any swag like a sticker. And I like my stickers. So that's kind of a cool thing to get, you know, a free sticker. Also on the gun, you know, we got this little rubber dog tag. I guess you could turn it into a keychain. You know, I mean, it came with it. It'll probably just stay in the box for me. It looks like it would probably break, but you know, it was on there just saying 1 button takedown. So very nice. And you know, it's still able to accept a Weaver type mount, but unfortunately, unlike the Mark IIIs and some of the other ones, it doesn't come with the mount. It does come with 2 blued magazines, which work absolutely amazingly. And that's enough talking about it. So let's go ahead and shoot the gun a little bit and just see what it does. All right, so I got my eyes and ears on, and we're gonna put some lead on some steel using these express style sights. After that, I'm gonna move it out to about 120 yards, and then I'm gonna cut a playing card in half for a wrap up on the overall accuracy of this gun. This gun's extremely accurate, and it does not come at a cheap price. The Hunter model in US dollars is $729 is the MSRP. Local gun shop price was $650 for me, and it would be the $650 for everybody else at Country Attic Treasures. And I'd like to thank them again for helping me get this gun so quickly to be able to do a review on it. So anyways, I'm going to stop talking, and we're going to put some lead on some steel. Be a great gun for doing like steel challenges and stuff like that. Of course, it has no muzzle flip because it is a 22. I'm almost sounds like I was playing Mary Had a Little Lamb. So anyways, we're going to go for our long range test now and see what it can do at 120 yards. Just trying to get that good trigger control, and I'm not used to this lollipop style sight that this thing has, this express style sight. Not too bad for that distance. All right, so as you can see, pretty good distance for a little 22 handgun. All right, so a question that I actually had earlier was, am I able to make precision shots using the Ruger Mark IV Hunter? Of course, you know, because it has the express style sights. And the answer to that question is yes. Even though it has the express style sights with the V-notch, you're still able to make precision shots. You may have to slow down a little bit in order to make them, but you're going to have to slow down anyways to make a precision shot with any handgun, or even any rifle for that matter. So I'm going to step back here a little bit and just show you guys that it is actually able to pull off shots like that as long as you do your part. Well, it took 3 shots, okay. The first shot didn't go all the way through, so I must have grazed it a little bit. The second shot was able to finish it off. So if you guys like what you've seen today, please subscribe. And if you're looking for a great little 22 pistol to go hunting with, just to plink with or whatever, check out the Ruger Mark IV Hunter. Absolutely an awesome gun. Ruger, you knocked it out of the park with this one. So like I said, if you guys like what you've seen today, please subscribe, and thank you for watching the Gunport channel.